Ms. French.
Good evening. I'm Sandra French, and I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this forum tonight so that we have the opportunity to speak directly to you, Howard County residents. I am Sandra French, as I said, and I'm seeking your support for my 4th term. I came to Maryland to teach English at Glen Burnie High School. I love Maryland, and I've stayed put. My husband and I have been residents of Howard County since 1971. We raised our 2 sons here in Howard County, and they're residents or they're graduates of the Howard County school system, both very successful engineers now. I want to talk about the present. I just came back from Greece, Italy, and France. I chaperoned 35 middle school students with 2 other teachers, and we had a glorious time. I love education. I love being with students. I love advocating for their children. And I hope that you consider me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. French. Mr. Proudfoot.
Good evening. My name is David Proudfoot, and I'm a school administrator for the Baltimore County Public Schools in a Title I elementary school. Out of this panel of 11 candidates, I am the only current full-time public school employee that is running for a seat on the board. I'm a qualified leader. I hold strong beliefs about how to make a school better and have firsthand experience in increasing student achievement and engaging the community in the educational process. I have a doctorate degree in educational leadership, and my family and I reside in Ellicott City. I am a supporter for learning. As a board member, I will center efforts on achieving academic excellence for all students, make decisions that will decrease the dropout rate, and enable all students to graduate with the skills to become continuous learners, and work to ensure that children are provided with learning experience that encourage them to apply high-rigor skills to real-world situations. I am a collaborator. As a board member, I will encourage open dialogue, as the board must take input from all groups and must build public understanding. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Walker.
Good evening, and thank you to the League of Women Voters and your sponsors for putting on this candidates forum. My name is Larry Walker, and I am a lifelong learner, and I came here in 1973. Very proud of Howard County Public School Systems and what it did for me. Howard County Public School Systems turned my life around. After graduating from college, I decided to come back and raise my family here. My wife is an elementary ESOL teacher, has been with the Howard County Public School System for 23 years. We've raised 2 boys through the system. I believe, as a parent who has raised children through the system, I have a unique experience and a perspective of how we can help make our great school system even greater. I believe that we have a lot of caring professionals that work in our school system, and I think that academic achievement, parent engagement, and fiscal responsibility are the keys to making our great school system great for now and in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Aquino.
Good evening. My name is Frank Aquino. I have had the privilege to serve on the Howard County Board of Education for the past 4 years. I've served 1 year as the vice chair and the next 2 as chairman. My wife and I moved to Howard County 16 years ago in order to send our children to its fine public schools. All 3 of my children are enrolled in or have graduated from the Howard County Public School System. My youngest child is just starting high school. I'm the general counsel for an environmental engineering company, and my wife Mary is a senior attorney at the Maryland Legal Aid Bureau, where she has worked for more than 20 years. While my biographical information is on my website, frankaquino.com, I will point out that I have a long history of involvement in local PTAs, the Howard County PTA Council, and public school system advocacy since moving to Howard County, including having recommended to the Board of Education that it adopt a formal civility policy, which the Board of Education approved just about 4 years ago. I never want to hear someone say that Howard County used to have great public schools. I believe that education is the pride of Howard County, and I want to keep it that way. Thank you.
Mr. Meshkin.
Good evening. My name is Brian Meshkin. It was a privilege to grow up here in Howard County and graduate from our schools. Today I live here with my wife and 3 young children. It was here that I learned to make a difference. Following a friend's death in front of my home when I was just 13, I helped lead an effort to pass the very first bicycle helmet law in the nation for children. Today I'm a biotechnology executive and entrepreneur, published researcher, adjunct professor, community activist, and most importantly, a husband and a dad. I have served on many school committees, including co-chair of the Operating Budget Review Committee, a PTA president, and chair of the countywide PTA's Health and Wellness Committee. I see our school successes as motivation to reach even higher, not as an excuse for complacency. Our schools must have more innovation, public input and involvement, and accountability. Our kids' K-12 education is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Though children make up 0% of the voters and 33% of our population, they are 100% of our future. My name is Brian Meshkin, and I'm running to make sure they get the very best. Thank you very much.
Ms. Vaillancourt.
Hi, my name is Cindy Vaillancourt. As the parent of two children who have been through the Howard County Public Schools, one who is now in college and one who is about to start his sophomore year in high school, I've been a close observer, participant, critic, and very proud supporter of the public schools in our county. If you have kids who are currently in school and they are being well served, then I'm very happy for you. Our schools do a lot of really great things.
Mr. Ballinger.
Good evening, and good luck to all the candidates here tonight. My name is Robert Ballinger. I'm a parent of two great children, one with special needs. I'm a father who's a coach. I'm a member of the Autism Society, an active PTA member, a community activist, a child advocate, and have been a benefit of great teachers for my children's education. I believe very strongly that we have one of the best school systems in the state and in the United States. But I also think we need to broaden and look at what we could do to make our great system even better. I asked you and encourage you to go to my website, www.ballingerforboe.com, and get the understanding of who I am and what my policies are. I'm running for the Board of Education, but I'm also running to represent you, the family who has a child in Cedar Lane, a parent who is active and wants change at Cradle Rock School, a family who's decided to look at homeschooling.
Thank you, Mr. Ballinger. Ms. Kornreich.
Good evening. My name is Leslie Kornreich. I have a master's degree in education. I have taught in elementary, middle, and high school. And I've also advocated for my son, my special needs son, for 13 years here in Howard County. My top priorities as a candidate for the Board of Education are the acquisition of land for new schools in the Northeast, individualizing services for our special needs and gifted students, and modifying the school calendar to better support continuity of education. A number of our elementary schools in the Northeast are at or above 120% capacity. Middle schools aren't far behind. Howard County schools used to have land in reserve so new schools could be built as they were needed, and we need to return to that. Right now, we're not meeting the individual needs of many of our special education students. Many students with individualized educational plans have been mainstreamed into the general education classroom without the supports they require to succeed there. And it's also time to build inclement weather days into the calendar and minimize interruptions to instruction caused by consecutive half days and days off in the school calendar.
Thank you, Ms. Kornreich.
Things for a lot of great kids. Even if you do not currently have kids in our schools, you have no doubt heard the good news about our schools in our state and national rankings. But if you were fortunate enough to have been taught critical thinking skills during your own education, you will look past the awards and rankings and see that we can and should be doing better. We are failing large portions of our community. When the parents and the community members reach out to their elected Board of Education to have issues addressed, they need to hear something other than "that's not our role." Our current board seems to be content to be cheerleaders for the system instead of the leaders. I would like to see that change, and if you elect me to the board, it will. Thank you.